welcome back to File Under Fire, a wrestling review podcast. My name is Brady. I am your host. Joined with me, as always, Dom
Hi guys. Yep.
and Abby.
Howdy.
And this week we brought three matches that I think couldn't have less to do with each other.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Um, I don't know any other way to describe it. I don't even know what this week is. This is kind of, I guess, what I wanted when I thought of the podcast. Is I just wanted us to talk about some of the most random shit in wrestling.
That are just not related.
Yeah, because while we all enjoy roughly the same things, our extremes are kind of in La La Land weird. And I think we especially see that with your match, Dom, because
Yes.
I don't even know how you framed that.
Yeah,
frankly.
I will talk. I can't wait to talk about what makes a good Dom match in my eyes. I cannot wait.
But starting it off, my match this week, Fujita Junior Hayato versus Masashi Takeda from Battle Arts, apparently. By the way, I didn't even know it was Battle Arts until I saw Avi list it as Battle Arts.
This could have just been like a fucking shoot kickboxing boxing exhibition. You can't see the crowd at all. I mean,
That's everything from 2007 on. If you see any of it, it's the Baldur's Gate camera angle.
Yeah, it's
And
it's so
you can't see the crowd. So
weird.
if you had seen anything from that era of Battle Arts, you would recognize it immediately. That ring and that camera angle.
This is from 7/26/2008, so 2 days before my 8th birthday. This match happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were beating the shit out of each other.
And
in your honor.
You gotta do this for Brady, man.
Yeah.
So this one's for Brady. God bless.
Little did they know that how many years later? 16, 17?
I'm not doing it on the math fly. Yeah, I was just gonna say, can't think of it.
Hey man, sorry. Yeah, I get it. It's early in the pod, late at night. Not really late. It's 6:30 for
it's after supper.
Yeah,
I got a belly full. I can't be doing math.
Yeah, is that your cutoff? Is once food in stomach, no more math?
I try to avoid it at all times, but yeah.
This is why you teach history.
If it must be done.
Yes, that's so funny. Every time he's like, I teach everything but math.
But math. I have talked about Takeda before on this podcast. When we talked about the Crazy Lovers versus the Astronauts. And yeah, he's a great deathmatch wrestler. But there's something very special when he is just in a purely shoot style environment. Yeah, he's special to me. Maybe that's just me.
No, I almost wish he had stayed on this path. I understand, he would not be nearly as successful because nobody else is doing this. He'd be working just the KT Dan shows and stuff.
Yeah.
He's made a much better career for himself doing deathmatch. And
he's still
modern deathmatch, not my favorite style. Yeah. Yeah, he's still getting called in. But he is great. He's a great deathmatch wrestler, obviously. But yeah, he really had something here as a style E battle arts guy.
I don't know if we ever talked about it when he was last on the podcast, but he had a time when he fought in legitimate MMA.
I think we brought up a little bit that he had a legit upbringing.
Yeah.
Because everyone just associates him with deathmatch now.
Yeah,
he trained at the U-File camp under Kiyoshi Tamura, who is one of the, I think we talked about this for sure, one of the greatest shoot style wrestlers. This is actually his first death match was in October of this year.
Oh,
so he hadn't worked any death match at this point.
I mean, you can
he has no scars on his body.
I was gonna say, granted, the camera angle and quality is not the greatest, but you can tell that there is not any very obvious scarring on his body.
It's so weird and odd to see a not ribbed Takeda.
Yeah, he's got I think he's wearing the Style E tights or whatever, and that was his home fit at this point, which is like a sort of a U-file offshoot, the other Tamura. But same deal, more straight up shoot style than what Battle Arts is, but because he does go on to be a great pro wrestler outside of shoot style, and he shows a little bit of that in this match too.
I was thinking
he could have really have been.
He has like a lot of cool little heel work for what is a shoot style match. You know what I mean?
Well, some of the knee work, like he does the knee drop deal, like that's a
like Ric Flair. yeah.
Dude, and then this is the first time we will bring Junior Hayato onto the pod. Guaranteed not the last. He is maybe one of the top 100 minimum, right?
He's pretty great. I think he's like a guy that all three of us can definitely agree on. Yeah, falls in like the perfect place for all three of us to be big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just a no nonsense ass kicker, and God bless. That's awesome. Yeah. God bless.
Yeah,
God bless.
And he trained MMA too, and amateur wrestling. I think his dad was like a Greco-Roman style wrestler, and that started in Michinoku Pro, but he fits real well in Battle Arts too, obviously, and worked there a little bit in the second gen version of Battle Arts.
And like, I think you can kind of see when this match starts, you can kind of see that like amateur wrestling prowess from both of them. Even like they're shooting for single leg takedowns and you know trying to get waist control, all this stuff, and like before they even really start striking, which is a very large part of this match, like the pure wrestling work, I think, is really something special because it's consistent, it's flowing.
It's always fun to watch smooth mat work now because it's such a lost thing. Everyone wants to do cool reversal, but there's no grittiness to it. Let's get down to the mat and wrench a hold or something.
Yeah, it's there's
a box to be checked.
There's a lot more pro wrestling in wrestling than there is amateur wrestling in wrestling, which isn't always a bad thing, but it does make you kind of like, if you're like us, I guess, like in the three of us, it is something where you do want to see more of that kind of weight control and stuff like that. I think that's...
Well, you want to see some struggle, but also it's the context helps because, like, I watched Kushida versus Fujita from the Best of the Super Junior today, and it's the first 3/4 of the match is a lot like the beginning of the match here. It's a lot of like actual wrestling and struggle, and it was a good match that I enjoyed, but like it doesn't. In my mind, I know it's a New Japan match, so like it's not going to just end. A Battle Arts match, this could have been a 3-minute match, like it's always possible that
even hell
that the wrestling is going to lead. Yeah, the wrestling is going to lead to an end to the match, like that, and that's something that old New Japan had that I really wish some places would do. Yeah. Have a match end quickly with a submission so it makes that stuff more interesting and exciting. But here, it could end that way, and they're both good wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes it
so
feel...
you're locked in on it.
Makes it feel spontaneous, makes it feel, real, quite frankly. Like, makes it feel...
Yeah, like in the Fujita-Kushida match, in the back of my mind, I'm going, okay, at some point, they're going to abandon this or a finishing stretch. And to their credit, they didn't actually really do that. It was a good match that I recommend, which is big for me to recommend a New Japan match. But
was this like huge? When's this match from?
May 15th.
Like of this
year?
Very
recent.
Yeah. Fujita just won the Best of the Super. I like him a lot. You guys would like him a lot too, I think. He's a wrestler.
I think this is a maybe a monumental moment live on air of Aubie recommending 2025 New Japan on the podcast. I'm
not totally dogmatic. I'm not gonna write it off because I know that I don't usually like the house style, but if it's something that sounds cool, I'll give it a shot. And I did like it. It went on the old sheet.
Fujita's a name that I've heard a lot about that I will probably have to invest in and watch.
He wrestles. He wrestles like these guys are wrestling to start this match, or like Lioness Asuka and Yoshida were wrestling last week on Brady's match. The very similar starts.
Yeah, you're creating a new favorite wrestler for Brady just by speaking.
He's cool. You'll like him.
Back to this match. Not
bad.
No, you're fine.
No, it's fair.
Like we talked about, there's some really good kind of going for holds, trying to get waist control, all the stuff you kind of want, I guess, really from a Battle Arts match.
As well as ass kicking, beating, face beating.
Oh, and yeah, dude, once Hayato starts kicking him, it's on from there pretty much. Like,
it's some of the best bomb trading you can get in a match. It's fun as fuck.
They work the match around that smartly, right? Like
yes,
Hayato kicks are kills.
Oh yes,
so Takeda is like is trying to
neutralize his legs.
Neutralize, yeah, the Hayato kicks, and every time he gets one or two in, it's Takeda is down.
Yeah, they establish almost immediately that Hayato is a crazy motherfucker because he almost takes his entire chin and jaw off with a kick to the face at the.
Dude, that shit.
Yeah, that was crazy.
My god,
dude, and then he whenever he just kind of like soccer kicks him, like when he
Hayato is one of the guys that when we talk about takes the least path of resistance to kill you. Yeah. He's one of them. He will just soccer kick you in the head. There are multiple matches where he does that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've said before, the wrestling world is lucky this man has God because he's this evil, while being a man of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he would probably kill someone. He would.
At his most evil, he's one of the stiffest but most ruthless guys ever.
Probably one of the scariest liberty takers ever, would you say?
I mean, there's some crazy suplexes in here. Takeda hits a real nice belly to belly. After kind of not blocking a knee, but kind of eating a knee from Hayato. There's some Germans the kicks. We can't talk about these kicks enough.
You said that the camera is not the best on these, but I think second gen Battle Arts. I like it too. I like the angle, but the second gen Battle Arts is the best mic'd ring ever.
Yeah,
I could agree with that.
07 Battle Arts on is the most auditorily satisfying wrestling. So it's always super crunchy, but then when you add Hayato into that, these are the most gunshot sounding fucking kicks you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah, I was thinking that, wow, these are ridiculously loud.
Takeda does a great job, like we said, kind of trying to neutralize the leg. He is putting on he's putting on submissions on the legs that I don't even think are real submissions.
He does a leg cloverleaf thing.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
He does.
It's awesome though. The way he works the leg is so interesting, and he keeps it moving.
He does. He makes a single leg crab really cool because he keeps it he keeps it between his legs, under his groin to apply more pressure and leverage. It's awesome.
Yeah, and then at one point kind of tucks the other leg around, and it's almost like a sharpshooter-esque kind of position. But then he
that's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's like a cloverleaf folded under the leg.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but it looks gnarly.
All his leg work is vicious.
He grabs the leg and puts the knee over his back and just kind of carries him around like that. That looks brutal.
Oh, what was that? Is that with the stretch muffler? What did you call that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where he puts that shit around his fucking neck head.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got a name. I just don't fucking know it.
Real.
kind of a classic Brady doesn't know what he's talking about. But either way, like
I don't know the names of all the moves either, dude.
that
it's hard. There's too many.
Yeah,
that move, then he hits a German on him, and then gets I can't even like a submission that I once again can't describe, but like its closest cousin, I guess, would be a figure four. Like when they're both like sat on the ground and he like ties his legs up. I don't know. But like
it's gotta hurt.
Once Hayato gets out of that, it just like goes insane. He starts kicking him like open hand strikes.
It's mean shit.
He goes for a head kick and Takeda ducks it and then like runs and he spears him.
He spears his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does he does the craziest chop blocks almost. Like that'll fuck some shit up.
Like, dude, I was not expecting like he hits a regular spear and then hits like it's less of a chop block and more of just a spear to the knee.
Yeah, he straight up just spears his knee.
Yeah. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, this is 12 minutes of super heat.
Yeah, 12 minutes. I think it's like 10 technically because there's like a 2-minute like afterwards. The finish I think is like
because they gotta get the fucking smelling salts for
Takeda. The finish I think is a classic battle arts style finish with like Hayato just knees his head off.
He gets him in a guillotine and then rolls backward and sits him up and then knees him in the face, like
directly in the nose.
Yeah, and the ref just realizes he could count to 1,000 and
he starts counting. He gets to 2 and he's like, "Oh fuck it."
Yeah, he's like, "No, he's not getting up. He's done."
And just calls it off. Hayato cuts a promo afterwards, and dude, God bless. Little bit of backstory. I found this match because I was looking specifically for Takeda shoot style matches.
I remember that.
And I found this and I like sent it to
I remember
Avi.
You sent it, yeah.
I sent it to Avi specifically because I remember because I was like, oh, he has a Junior Hayato playlist. I was like, why not give him some more stuff for a playlist, you know? And so I just remember laying in bed at like 11:30.
He always appreciates having more work.
Or maybe it wasn't.
No, send me the stuff. The Hayato playlist is short anyway because the Michinoku Pro matches are so long, dude. I ain't trying to watch all.
That's fair.
But like the fucking like I don't even think it was that. Like I think it was like 10 o'clock at night. My girlfriend had wanted to go to sleep because I think she had to be up for work early, and I just was laying in bed on my phone, just watching these two kill each other for 10 minutes. And I text Aubie and I said, "Hey, sorry for like the late message. It's 10:30, mind you."
Well, I am old as fuck.
Well, I think that like we had just started the podcast at this point, so I didn't fully know your sleep schedule. And so my brain assumed like, okay, 10:30 he's a teacher, so he has to be at work and fucking.
Yeah, no, normally I would be asleep by that point, hopefully, because I get up at like 4:30, so.
Exactly. So
I think I've seen you before while I'm up way too late. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's real. And so like I just was like, sorry for the late message, but you need to check this fucking match out. And then like this week I just saw somebody in the Moonsault Discord talking about Junior Hayato, and I went, you know what? That's what I'm bringing. Like, no, I didn't even like think any farther about it. I was just like, let's just bring this match on the podcast. Let's force everyone to watch it. Because if
rocked.
Not, yeah,
it's very good.
You want a hot take?
Go ahead.
I like second gen boutique battle arts more than OG battle arts.
Is that just because it's a lot more concise?
Sometimes. I don't know what it is. I think it's the whole aesthetic of it that I like.
Makes it feel more vicious.
I was gonna say it's a bit more fight.
I'm telling you, the sound mixing or whatever you want to call it has a lot to do with it. I mean, some of those first gen Battle Arts matches are some of my favorites of all time, like I've talked about before. But if I was just gonna like sit down and watch a full show,
you'd choose second gen.
Probably would throw on one of the second gen ones. There's a lot of gold there.
It usually seems like they go like a good length too.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe it's like my uninformed opinion, but like I guess to me, even when I think of like watching stuff, like if I'm gonna watch a whole show, I don't want to watch a whole show where it's like one that is like everyone knows everything that happens and like it's this like well-known kind of show. Like I will, but at the same time,
some of that stuff you gotta watch though. Like you gotta watch Bash '89. You gotta watch.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but
about that.
Watching obscure things because they're obscure, it's fun because you can get gems that you can claim as your own.
And speaking of watching obscure things because they're obscure,
yes, how y'all did that?
Yes,
alley-oop.
Yes.
Fucking Dom's match of the week. Magno versus Fuerza Latina from NWG 3/18/22. These are two luchadors I have never heard of, and probably, unless Dom brings another match of one of theirs, we'll never hear of again.
So about that, Fuerza Latina seemingly is a bit of an anomaly. He is a little short guy that brings the fire. He beats the dog shit out of Magno back. Because these... Alright, this is going to be a Dom tangent. How did I find this? I found this because me and Ob said before, and that any lucha match is inexplicably has the potential to be great. No discussion. Anything can be good. Any random trios you throw on could probably be something great in heat. I mean, Ob has been watching hella La Parka things, and he found a hand cam that is heat, and no one talks about it. You know what I mean? You can find gems. You can find awesome things. And I like matches where people beat the shit out of each other. So that's what I try and find, where it's very stiff and mean. There's this kid Magno. I've been watching his signals. He's not good. I'm gonna be real. He's really not good.
You know what's crazy? He's not a kid.
He
started wrestling in 2015.
Okay, well,
so he may be, because I looked, man, because I was like, damn, these are two young guys.
Yeah, right.
But, he's been wrestling since. I mean, he may have started when he was like 13, so he may still be.
I was gonna say he's probably like my age or some shit like that.
Yeah,
he's
very possible.
Yeah, he's stiff. He's stiff.
He's
that's
stiff
cool.
As hell. Yeah,
I like stiff stuff, but this is the only match where he doesn't fuck shit up. Every other match I've seen of him, he tries to go for these sequences with opponents with arm drag and shit, and he but he always fucks it up. And I guess here it's fine because it's just swinging chairs at each other full force.
Yeah, he should lean into the brawling.
In the brawling thing, yeah,
he's pretty good at that.
Yeah, because
it's great.
We'll get into it a little bit when we really talk about the match here, but when they kind of go back and forth between the brawling in this match and then the kind of more technical, stereotypical lucha stuff. And when they're doing that, it they have moments where it's slow or they. It
doesn't look the best.
Doesn't look the best. But then
this is not a very pretty match. But then it'll hit the gas at 60.
Yeah, then
and they'll balls to the wall, kill each other.
They'll they'll do a suplex onto a ladder, and you'll go, holy shit! Which is
the already broken ladder.
Yeah, there are some neck drops in this match that are fucking gross.
Yeah.
So I watched the version that you uploaded, Avi. Now, Dom, I know you said there are multiple camera angles. Do all of them start at a point that is already partially through the...
Yeah, they start with Magno beating his ass.
It's so... they're seemingly... is a group that Magno is in, and there is a bunch of baby faces that will come in and help Fuerza Latina. I don't know the group's name. You will see them sometimes periodically come in and beat the shit out of people, or not beat them up, but it'll push him off the cage when he tries to escape.
It was like a lumberjack cage match, man.
Yeah.
I was so like, is it escape the cage or is it pin? And I guess it was both.
It was both.
But like every time either guy tries to escape the cage, the lumberjacks throw him right back in.
I think on who the fuck? I think the heel guys. I think it's Dark Pain. Okay, they're not the heels. Dark Pain, Dementia, and Goldenfly. I'm probably wrong, but they do name.
No, they were all
Goldenfly
on this show because I looked at this card. You know, before this was a 17-way mask versus hair match.
What?
Yeah,
what?
Mask versus hair 17-way match. 17 dudes in a plus. This is the match before this.
That's fucking awesome,
another
man.
thing I want.
This was like a big anniversary show for this promotion.
Yeah, okay.
Another thing I do want to point out that this has a Lucha Libre Select 11 Lucha versus Coronavirus on there.
Yeah, they have Lucha DB links to something that isn't the match. One of them isn't the match or the event. I don't know.
So they wrestled like a month before this. I think that might be that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because Fuerza Latina, as I was saying, he's a little of an anomaly to me, too, because there's not even a whole lot of footage of him in general.
Well, I think both of these guys almost exclusively wrestle here in Guadalajara, like in this little arena. And it, you know, when they lose the mask and they say their name and how long they've been wrestling, they say that he's been wrestling for 4 years, which means he started in 2018. And then his last match on Cage Match is like early 2023 against someone named Minnie Jalapeno. So yeah, he had a very short career. And he doesn't have like a cage match profile or anything. Magno does. But
Magno has a cage match, and all of the reviews that someone made for him are lies for those matches.
No way.
It's just somebody that was in attendance.
They're like, bro, this is like the best Mexican lucha strong style, and then I watch it. Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other, but he also like fucks up like a backbreaker. Like it's stupid.
Well, we all three had the same thought we were talking about before we recorded, that this is like
a backyard,
a backyard match. Like these guys almost feel untrained.
Yeah,
because they do it. Like it's cool. I enjoyed it, and they're stiff as fuck. But like it is also like in the way of a backyard match. Like to me, having watched a bunch, the best backyard matches are like short and like keep moving because those guys are just not good at the connective tissue stuff.
Yes,
like stringing stuff together. So it's like what you were saying, like the tempo and the rhythm of this
is all over.
Feels like a backyard match.
Yeah, it's
because they're just but like when they turn it up, they fucking kill each other.
So
these are the nasty chair shots, man. It's crazy.
I said they both kind of look like baby deer.
They do look like little fawn men.
Yeah.
Little. They're like the Men in Black roach people. They're little small.
I am happy that that the match goes the way it does, because I need to confess something here. I hate these like little half and half masks. Like it's like the same style that Spiderfly has. I do not like that style of mask.
Fuerza Latina? Yeah. That's fair.
Like
Fuerza Latina looks cool. He's got like an eyebrow tattoo. He looks like a badass motherfucker.
I think both of these little tiny skinny people could beat the shit out of me.
Oh, for 100%.
Sure. They would knock my entire jaw off. Fuerza Latina is tiny, but he's jacked.
I mean, one of the first things we already talked about, the suplex onto the ladder, but then like Fuerza Latina gets a chair and just swings for the damn fences.
They swing these bitches at each other. It's gross.
Like
it is gross.
I don't think the camera angle we have really does the match justice, because then in like the post,
I promise you, this is the best camera angle because the other one
I believe you.
No, I know the Mas Lucha one.
That's so funny because that like indie lucha is also like backyard wrestling in that way.
And
that there's like eight dudes with cameras and there's like multiple,
and it all looks like shit.
Suck.
Yeah, they all suck. Yeah.
Because the one on Mas Luchas, it's a steady camera shot, like hard cam thing, but I think you don't see how stiff some of the shit is, and it's just the one I sent. I think you can see that better.
But like
you can hear it too.
The thing,
especially some of the kicks to the head.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that like I didn't realize until after the match is over and they're doing the like interview segments with each other is like how much blood there was, like just pure blood, right? Like you
guys bleed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Fuerza Latina is bleeding before the match starts because, like I forgot to mention, Magno's group is somehow in here and they beat the shit out of Fuerza Latina before. Like they cut in and he's already beat it up. It's crazy.
Which is so insane. But like
it's fun. Love indie lucha.
Yeah,
awesome.
Magno, like when we see the interview afterwards, like Magno's mask is all like bloody
and white. I like that he picked white because usually his mask is black. I imagine he picked white because he knew he was bleeding tonight.
Oh yeah, okay, real worker.
Yeah, maybe they do know something about the business, brother.
Bro, I mean, I love how unsafe this match looks. I can't lie.
I don't think we can really describe it any other way than like it is. The cage looks like it's just barely held together.
Yeah.
I'm honestly.
It looks like the cage from the Sangre Chicana.
Yes, I was just exactly gonna say that. Unsafe as fuck. They're probably like, I'm not climbing this shit.
Yeah, except the difference is like that was from what year? Like
1992.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking
this
like
is
23, huh?
Yeah.
30 years later.
30 years later, and somehow the cage still looks equally as crap. Like there's a point here. Also at least in the Paro match, they at least like they learn that the cage is not good, and they decide at some point.
Yeah, they're like, we can't climb this shit.
Yeah, they stop trying to climb it. They do not stop trying to climb it here. They keep trying to climb. At one point, like Latina tries to climb up and gets the powder in his face.
Fuck yeah! You got all the heel greatness in here, all the staples, heel powder, whatever the fuck.
That's the other thing too. Is like I had no idea. So, I mean, I told we realized this like right before we joined the call because I was talking about it in the group chat that like the whole time I had no idea who was who because like the Mas Lucha link that Dom sent is
originally
yeah, it has a thumbnail and it says Magno versus Fuerza Latina. And so you would assume, right, because you've watched wrestling before, that they would then put the picture of each wrestler above where their names are. But for some reason, Mas Lucha did not do this, and they just put them on opposite sides. So I went through watching this whole match and wrote down all of the names backwards, and then at the like basically last minute, after telling Dom this and him dying laughing at me, went back through and had to re-switch all of the names back into my notes so that way I knew what the fuck happened.
Yeah, so you don't sound crazy while you talk about the match.
Which
this is fun.
Not that it really matters. I mean, you could go into this not know who either of these guys are, and come back out just fine.
Just as confused.
But it doesn't matter. Like these for all the shit that we're talking about, two dudes that like don't look like they know how to work. They're trying as much as they possibly can.
I think it's a beautiful. I like it a lot. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a great display of. They want to save their goddamn masks. I mean, they're going for double pins. I mean, they're fucking beating each other. It's fun.
It's raw. I don't mind a little. In fact, I like a little little
roughness.
rawness, and yeah, I don't like. I think people can get obsessed with like botches and stuff. I mean, have you never seen a fight?
No.
Yeah,
You're gonna fight as long as you're not, you know, resetting up spots or
they go through
selling
pretty
stuff
much
that didn't
everything.
touch you.
Yeah.
Then I'm fine with a little roughness.
Because I think they have little moments of like greatness. Like there's a part where they're both on the floor and they are both kicking each other and they increase it. You know what I mean? They get increasingly harder and harder, and they're like, "Let's stand the fuck up."
Yeah, as they stand up.
It's Fuerza throws pretty good forearms because they're more like punches. He does not do the safe version. He fucking swings that bitch.
Yeah, probably because he doesn't know how.
Yeah, it's awesome. Everything here
rocks.
Everything here is the unsafe version. Like, can I talk about some of my favorite spots that are in my brain? Magno does a top rope backdrop driver that.
Dude, I wrote that down. Avalanche backdrop driver. It is a backdrop driver.
And he definitely took that wrong because it's brainstem landing.
I couldn't believe he kicked out of that.
He kicked out of that, and then Fuerza does fucking suplexes of his own on his little ass body that's gotta hurt his own vertebrae.
Is that when he does like the 3 in a row?
Yeah,
he does the Benoit.
Yeah, the 3 Germans.
Fucking Benoit.
Rolling
and they look rough because he lands on his own head too, and it's like, god damn, bro. Who does this? Who does the pile driver? It's Magno who pile driver.
Magno does it.
You literally see his fucking neck like compress a little bit, like it's his top of his head makes contact with that floor. That he did not make sure that shit was safe at all. He said, "We're doing this cool spot I saw before. Let's do it," and they did it. And he probably almost died, and it's awesome. I will clip it. I will go back and clip it later. Holy shit!
I want to point out at one point, I think it's Fuerza does a 450 splash.
Yeah, it just pulls that shit out, his little ass. It's great.
Yeah, and like he does it super fucking close too. Like he placed Magno like really close into the corner, and then I was like, what's he gonna do here? Because earlier in the match, Magno had done a double stomp from like a similar position. So I was like, is he gonna do the double stomp as in like a, you did this to me, now it's your turn type deal? And then he jumps and starts rotating, and I went, nope, this is a 450.
Speaking of double stomp, this is where I also wish there was a better camera angle or a clear camera view, because I'm pretty sure if we had it, this would be an all-time gross finish. I'm pretty sure he double stomps his head, like full send double stomps Fuerza's head.
Yeah, probably, judging by how the rest of the match went. Yeah, I would imagine that he did.
I'm pretty sure he does, and I think everyone. I don't know how he didn't die, because that was 2 feet to the head.
I do love too, by the way, that as he wins, his theme starts playing and it smells like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, fucking great.
I was like, it really helped the whole feeling I had of this as a backyard match of guy wins and like random
plays his favorite song,
random grunge song comes on.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Very, very beautiful. Really just insane. I can't believe like people are like, the people who watch the matches from this podcast. I can't believe that they're going to have to go back and watch this in like the best way possible. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I made Poochie watch this, and they were just like, I don't even know.
That's amazing.
It's a fun 20 minutes. It's worth your time, especially again if you're into Domism and you like stiff.
Yes, murders. Domism. Just be cool, have a mask, and beat each other up.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a mask, but just be cool.
No, well, I think having a mask does help.
No, having a mask puts you higher on my priority list. And if you're an animal-themed guy, way at the top.
Shouts out Black Buffalo.
Shout out Black Buffalo. That's my guy.
I feel like we should have a Domism episode where we all just bring animal-based wrestlers.
Does the Junkyard Dog count?
100%.
Yeah, I'd count that. Right. He's a dog.
That's a dog.
I think in that same sense, you could also count Mad Dog, both Buzz Sawyer and Connolly.
Yeah, you can also bring the Jungle Jack girls stable with, what would it's not Jaguar Yokota, I forgot the name. What is it? Aja and Bison, right?
Yeah.
I like Bison Kimura.
Can I bring Road Warrior Animal?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Because he's very stiff.
Especially if you bring the Road Warriors, because it's Animal and Hawk.
Hawk.
Oh wow, I didn't think about that.
2 for a price of 1, man.
And they're awesome, and they hit hard, so that's a very true.
Yeah, Domism, and it's
pretty much
the whole time. I'm just gonna want to bring Shark Boy.
I was immediately thinking about Shark Boy.
This is. I think are we gonna do Domism next week, guys?
Ooh, that would be hard for me because what does Dom bring to a Domism episode?
I don't know. What does Dom bring to a Domism episode?
Fuck. Ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that.
Moving on to our main event of the evening. It is
main event in any arena.
In any arena, with maybe the most preamble to a match I might have ever heard.
It's so much fun to listen to.
It's worth it though.
Conform.
It pays off. It's the most overbooked thing ever, but it pays off.
So I didn't going into it, right? I didn't understand. So you had talked about in the group chat when you'd sent this match. Let me introduce it first. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Dude Love, WWF. Over the Edge. Over the Edge. I was gonna say over the top, but I knew that wasn't right. 5/31/98. This is for the WWF World Title. And so you had said, obviously, that you had thought about bringing this for a gimmick match episode, but you didn't because it's kind of long. If it's if you have 3 or 2 other gimmick matches, whatever, it's gonna be kind of a trip, right? Because you can't really find short gimmick matches.
Yeah, I thought it worked well in this week with y'all both picking shorter. And weirder matches.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like the me and Dom kind of picked some unique ones, and you just kind of went
we need a main event.
We need a normal match almost.
Well, it fails on that.
I love this match.
Oh, I loved it too. Once we get into the work part of it, I love it. The stooging and all that stuff made me want to choke Pat Patterson, but that's.
I can't wait till is Pat Patterson dead?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, fuck him, but he is very funny here.
Yes,
all the people that are in hell are very funny here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that will be in hell. Because we got Doc Hendricks, we got Vince, obviously.
Super hell, Doc Hendricks. Oof.
Yeah. We got Pat.
Jerry Lawler.
I don't know. Yeah, Lawler. I don't know. I don't know about Briscoe. I'm gonna give Gerald Briscoe the benefit of the doubt. But
it's so funny hearing Lawler go, what's that, dude? Hey,
dude.
Such a bizarre choice for him to do the high pitched voice for no reason. Anyway.
Yeah, the man who beats people up. Dude, what are you doing, dude? Fucking Mickey.
So Abby was nice enough, I guess, to include some of the promo packages basically prior to the match.
The first part is the intro to the pay-per-view, and I just think it's a really cool vignette it's got Mussolini and Stalin.
Dude, it has Stalin and shit. Yeah.
I'm
is this real?
And then the other stuff is what aired directly before the match. I mean, you have to have context for this.
Conform,
because it is super overbooked. So if you weren't
society,
yeah,
I do love the kind of doubled over thing that they do there, with Austin promos and stuff. Yeah, I find that stuff very, very interesting.
So charming. Funny. It's so charming.
So basically, to explain. Vince obviously wants to get the belt off of Austin because he thinks that
this is his first run. This is 2 months after Mania when he wins it from Shawn, and this is like the peak of the height of the Austin McMahon. And to me, the peak of the Attitude Era. It's kind of all downhill from here, but this is a perfect example of like what worked.
Yeah,
it helps to have Steve Austin.
Yeah,
for sure.
It definitely helps to have Steve Austin, and I think you can see that when he finally comes out. But so basically, Vince brings in Dude Love as his like corporate shill, effectively, which is so funny. By this point, also like it is they refer to him as just Mick. Like JR will talk about him as just Mick, and like basically describe that Mick is also Mankind, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack.
Did you know that Dude Love is like a thumbnail from Mankind?
Well, Dude Love, the genesis of the Dude Love character is tied into Austin. Austin and Dude Love have a history here. Dude Love exists because of Stone Cold Steve Austin's storyline.
Okay, I see.
Have you guys ever seen? This is a great match. If you haven't, I recommend everyone watch it. One of the best Raw matches. Austin and Shawn Michaels win the tag titles from Owen and the Bulldog on Raw.
I do not think I've seen that, but that does sound pretty
incredible match. Such a great match. But while they're champs, Michaels gets hurt, and so they do this thing where Mankind wants to replace him, and Austin basically says like, "I don't want anything to do with you. You're a freak," and he's gonna fight Owen and the Bulldog alone. But halfway into the match, Foley comes out in the Dude Love persona, and that's the debut of Dude Love, and they hold the tag titles together.
Okay.
And so he's like a baby face.
They were tag partners.
Yeah, that's the birth of Dude Love. And then his heel turn is also Austin related because as he explains it, it's a lot like the Kane Dewey thing, right? It's that correct idea that the heel has to have a like a legitimate gripe, but they go psycho, right? So he had a hardcore match with Terry Funk, and like fans were leaving, and then the ring announcer said, Austin has a dark match after this or whatever, and everybody like runs back to their seats. So
Austin has a dark match. Everyone, yeah, that's real. I'd be like, oh shit, I want to watch Austin.
Yeah, and so Dude Love sells that as like Foley sells that as all my hard work and everything. People don't appreciate it. They just care about Austin. So I think that's the first Austin title defense is the month before this at Unforgiven against Dude Love. And then he, like, as you said, they refer to him as Mick Foley. After he loses, he's like humiliated and he comes out as Mick Foley. And then he sort of corporate stooges his way into another opportunity at Austin.
This is a good time because you mentioned Kane Dewey. We desperately need to talk about ECW Mick, or ECW Terry Funk, which I mean, they're at sometimes very intertwined with each other. But that's something I'd love to talk about.
Do their IWA Japan matches. They're even fucking crazier.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will probably definitely not be the last time you bring Mr. Foley onto this.
But this to me is one of his best matches, and I think it is Austin's best main event match.
I think it's. I mean, we can get into it obviously, but I think they don't do too much, which I think but when they do more, I guess is the best way to put it. It's insane. So
well, everything matters. Everything matters.
I do want to kind of get into a little bit of the weeds of the intro here, So we get a pre-match promo with Vince saying that the only way this match will end is by his hand, whether that is
so funny
throwing the match
because
out.
he's the referee, right?
Yeah. So he has named himself the referee. Pat is the timekeeper and ring
he's
announcer.
The ring announcer.
Yeah,
he's the ring announcer. Gerald Briscoe is the
timekeeper. That's what it is. So, so Finkel announces Pat Patterson and reads off this long, does basically the long list of achievements thing.
This shit is legitimately hilarious. It's very funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's so much funnier when Fink is doing it to me, because he's Howard Finkel, so he can only announce things one way. So it's like every sentence ends with enunciation, and and when he's doing it for in the kind of a masturbatory version for Pat Patterson, it's very funny to me. And then when you so then Pat comes out, does the whole thing for Jerry, does it for Vince, and at one point JR says it's like he's introducing Frank Sinatra, for God's sakes.
Walker is very funny sometimes.
And then Vince comes out with his little fuckboy ass goddamn ref shirt with his cut off sleeves. This might be the same one Sean wore, quite frankly.
He wanted to show off his steroid game.
It's the tightest shirt ever, yeah. That had just made its debut not long before this.
The Eco Pro stuff?
No, the Vince ref shirt.
Oh, okay.
Sleeves cut off, which is it's very funny to me. I think it's very funny.
Then we get people throwing trash in the ring, which I love. I love that.
Such a great visual always.
Mick comes out with the Dude Love theme. He's in full Dude Love gear, and then he has a blazer on over it, hair in a ponytail. Fucking hilarious look. Mick, first of all, Dude Love theme, amazing. All-timer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.
And then Pat basically Dude Love comes out, does his whole entrance, and Pat basically starts shit talking Austin, right? He's
he says a beer swilling fool.
Yeah.
Which pops me huge. Yeah. A beer swilling fool, foul mouthed idiot or whatever he called him.
Yeah, calls him a foul mouthed idiot, and then he's like, I will not announce him. And this is, I think, the quintessential moment of what made Austin so good is you didn't need the ring announcing. You needed to hear the glass shatter.
100%. You just heard that, and you're like, it's Austin.
See a man walking to the ring in maybe
head bobbing,
maybe the most badass way a man has ever walked.
Dude, and the crowd, if you've never seen this shit before, it's almost unbelievable level to which people are going insane.
Yeah.
For Stone Cold Steve. They look like the fucking inflatable things at the car dealership.
People are by the end of this match, people are jumping and shit. It's awesome.
Dude, this match, so it starts. So before it starts, we also need to mention Vince basically said in a promo, I guess on Raw, he effectively said something to the something of the nature that if anyone on the roster has the balls enough to basically be the enforcer and make sure I call it right down the middle, you are invited to be ringside. Blah blah blah.
Well, so they do this in the package, right? Austin got McMahon arrested.
Yeah.
For saying that he assaulted him with a chair,
which he did.
And then one of the conditions for him to not actually be arrested and booked, he had to apologize. But then he had to agree that there would be someone there to make sure that he called it impartially. Yeah. And Vince, of course, is very dismissive of that because he's like, again, who is going to come out here and which of my employees is going to come out here and like make me call it impartially because he says like I'm not intimidated by anybody in the World Wrestling Federation.
And then we get a nice shot in that promo package of Undertaker choke slamming the shit out of Vince, which is very funny.
And Vince does the Undertaker is the one who comes out when he says he's not intimidated by anybody, and he does the big ass cartoon
face and gone.
Yeah, it does.
I shitted in my pants. I make dookie in my pants.
Does the whole little smoke gimmick too. The match starts and like for the first kind of bit of the match, it is pretty normal wrestling. I mean, you get stuff like them, going in, like getting thrown into the stairs. And
well, that's when it kind of the first part is like there's a little wrestling, and then Austin gets his shine, and then they go to the floor, and that's kind of where Mick
takes over,
gets on top,
which makes sense, right? Mick is,
and it's all. I mean, these are two of the best brawlers ever.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
All that stuff is great.
This is also like Austin pre like blown out knees too, so when he's moving, he's moving.
He's pre-blown out knees, but he's also post neck break, which, this is after his neck break.
Yeah, because that's
so there's always been the narrative that after his neck break, he's not as good of a worker as he used to be. But I think that shit is so wrong because he is electric in this match. He is so good. It's just wrong.
That's 96 when he breaks his neck, that's right?
97. That's a Meltzerism thing, right? It's because he's not doing as many moves. He's not as athletic. Mm-hmm. But like he didn't forget how to
work,
like structure a match. Yeah. And you can see it here. Man, everything they do gets huge reactions, perfectly placed.
He has the best clotheslines, bro.
Yeah. It builds very well. Yeah.
There's a lot of great hope spots and cutoffs. Yeah, you don't, and he takes some crazy bumps, but you don't have to, do a bunch of shit. You just have to know how to do it.
Last week we did skip over a chant. This week we will not skip over a chant.
The 90s.
Where I can say it if you'd like.
For the representation.
Well, I'm allowed, guys. It's Vince is gay. They keep chanting Vince is gay.
Which
hilarious.
On commentary they say, what are they chanting? Vince is dead?
Vince is dead, and they fooled me. They worked me a little bit. I almost believed
it. Listen, I kind of believed them too, even though like I heard it and I went, I'm pretty sure they're saying gay. I'm pretty sure. But then
very much so.
But then they say dead, and like it's like one of those things where like you hear what you want to think, like you hear what you are thinking you are hearing kind of deal. So like the more you listen to it as like Vince is dead instead, like that's what you hear.
Yeah, I really wish Vince McMahon was dead, so I just keep envisioning it every time I hear it.
Hey, maybe it'd be better if Vince McMahon was gay. Maybe he wouldn't have assaulted all those women.
I think he would have just assaulted men, maybe. I think he's just evil.
Well, then he'd just be Pat Patterson.
Fuck! Fuck you, Pat Patterson! Fuck you, Vince McMahon! Fuck!
Thank you.
Fuck!
That was I knew I had to squeak that one in there. It was either that or I was gonna make a Roddy Piper comment.
Oh man. Oof. That shit made Aubie say oof.
Yeah, fuck Pat Patterson. Anyway. So they chant Vince is gay. Austin takes out Dude Loves like his teeth, and he like
his fronts.
Yeah, he throws them.
That was such a crazy.
First he stomps on him, and then he throws him in the crowd.
And then Lawler says, "Dude Love lost his smile," which
he lost his smile.
Which that one popped me pretty big because I was like, because then JR's just like, "Really, King? He lost his smile." Like.
He's so done with his shit. Jim Ross is great as he's one of the best actually, huh?
Dude, yeah.
When you give him something like this to sink his teeth into, yeah.
Especially in like '98. Like when does Jim have his first bout with Bell's palsy? Is that
I think
like?
it's a little bit after this. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's around like late '99, 2000 ish.
Yeah, somewhere around there. 99, I want to say. Not
So
sure,
so
but
like, but he is clear-minded as ever here. No issues, nothing that could slur his speech in any way, and he hits every damn nail on the head. He is like, and he is. I mean, we all know Jr. is the biggest Stone Cold Steve Austin mark there is, I think. And dude, he shows it. He like I they like I love like Austin gets the Thez press and the punches, and
The
then
crowd goes crazy for it. It's great.
yeah, and then he lines him over the top, and that's when he gets thrown into the steps. And they get back in the ring, make
I love the dust that flies up from seemingly nowhere and makes the whole thing look like a Wild West movie. It adds a lot, I think.
make
It's very cool.
make working on him pretty well here, and then he like Mick ducks a line, gets the claw, and he like Austin throws Mick into the ropes, and he like gets his head caught like between the top and middle. Once again, great commentary call. They talk about Mick getting his half of his ear ripped off.
yeah, this is the famous Foley spot.
They then Mick like throws him. They gets out of the ropes, and he like basically throws Austin over the Spanish announce table. And this is where Vince goes over to Pat and tells him to tell the crowd or to remind the crowd that this match is no disqualification. Now, this match was not no disqualification, but now it is.
In fact, one of the stipulations was that the title could be lost on a disqualification.
Which, in which sense, negates his whole plan. But nonetheless.
Well, he's impulsive. He's stupid. He thinks he's got him here on the floor.
So as soon as the
Vince not afraid to show his ass.
Yeah, as soon as the no DQ is effectively put into place, Mick gets like a camera cable and just starts like choking the crap out of Austin, and Austin like basically reverses it and like throws him into the timekeeper's area, and like he fucking pummels Gerald Briscoe. And then one of the sickest spots I think of this match, when he puts Mick on the barricade and clotheslines him off of it. And this is a bump I think only Mick Foley
unbelievable.
Would take. Yeah, this is as dangerous as the fucking off the cage bump, because it's just like back of head and neck to concrete.
Yeah, you have literally no option but to just take it however you land.
With all his weight on time, and he's not an insubstantial man at this point.
And so he lands just on his neck, basically.
And before he hits that, though, he lays him on the guardrail and just punches the shit out of him about 15 times in the back of the head.
Yeah, he goes crazy, and then when Austin gets back like on the other side of the guardrail, he like steps over and he steps on Gerald Briscoe's back and he starts like stomping on him like which I thought was really funny, because like the whole point is that you can't lay hands on McMahon, but that doesn't mean he can't do things to
he can
Briscoe
kill the Stooges
and Patterson. Yeah. And so they they get back in the ring, and he's like choking him on the ropes, and he's gonna do like a leg drop or something onto Dude Love, who's like on the ropes, and like make moves. And this is a great Steve thing where he bounces ass first on the ropes and just launches himself backwards. And like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like the Chris
and
Hemsworth bump.
He didn't do it a ton as Stone Cold. He did it in the big title matches, and he takes some bumps here. But like, if you've not seen Young Austin, he was a huge bumper.
Oh yeah, I mean he was that was the thing, was he was known as like one of the best work rate guys.
Yeah,
which understandably so, and I think he shows that. They go. So he misses that. Dude Love like hits a baseball slide drop kick and then goes out and he hits a neck breaker on the ramp, is what they call it. It almost looked like he was trying to go for a stunner and just didn't like land right for a stunner basically. So it like kind of ends up just being more of a neck breaker. And at this point is when Vince goes up to Pat and tells him that he needs to remind the crowd that this is a Falls Count Anywhere match.
So I love all those. As a reminder, there's a poop in my butt.
Yeah, so now it is a Falls Count Anywhere match on top of an ODQ match. And so, dude, crazy stuff happens. He gets like, Dude Love flips Austin onto the hood of like a Honda Accord, and then he like damn near puts his foot through a windshield.
That would have fucked him up, probably.
Dude, for sure. And then Lawler on commentary goes, "Watch out, Vince, there's glass over there." And so naturally I went, "Real glass, cry me a river."
Bob doesn't get that reference. He doesn't watch the product.
There's no way he doesn't. He's on the internet.
No, I know. I'm just fucking with him.
Watch the what? No, I don't get
watch it. Watch the product.
Have you not seen the Jack Perry thing where he does the bump onto the windshield of the limo after Punk told him to, which is the whole reason why him and Punk got in a fight?
And watching a goddamn Jack Perry match? What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, he ain't
but
watching
shit. You haven't even seen the GIF or the bump? Whatever, man. Fuck it.
I'll be watching that shit.
Not the point. We're talking about a much better match here. So Dude Love pins him on the hood of the car. Can't get it. Then he pins him on the ground, and they're kind of throwing each other off the cars. And then Austin gets on top of a car with Dude Love, and he's gonna go for a stunner on the roof of this car. But before he can sit out, Mick pushes him, and he does a full bump off the car, and then Mick goes onto the car and does a sunset flip.
Yeah, have you seen the Paul Orndorff match?
No.
Where he does it. So this is probably the stupidest thing I've ever seen in a match. Crazy great match against Paul Orndorff, but he does a top rope sunset flip to the floor.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing this. It's
this is the scaled down version of that, but it's very funny.
I'm gonna fuck my own back up real quick.
They work around, they do a bunch more stuff around on the ramp area with these cars. Mick gets a pipe. I
was gonna ask you what part of the car is that, Brady?
I don't think that is a part of the car.
Waller tries to say
the giant pipe, yeah.
So that is not saying it couldn't be, but it looks to be too thick to be.
Yeah, it just looks like a fucking wrestling lead pipe.
Yeah, it just looks like a pipe you would find at the store.
A pipe made for assaulting someone.
Hey, we've been talking about these cars like it's a normal thing. If you've not seen this match, there's just a bunch of fucking junk cars piled up in the entrance. It's part of the set.
Yeah, they have a car stood up on its end on either side as for the entranceway, and then
I wish more companies still had themed and
stuff. Fun sets.
Fun sets and
it's
shit.
Cool. It makes it feel so. And this is one that I had I taped off pay-per-view. and had a VHS tape of this.
Mm-hmm.
And remember a ton of this stuff, but it did make all these shows feel different. And like, if it's been 27 years, but
yeah,
if at any point
remember...
someone had said Austin Dude Love Over the Edge, I'm thinking about those cars.
The cars, yeah. I mean, as soon as you say WCW Halloween Havoc, people will think about the graveyards and the pumpkins and shit and the giant guy face. So it's awesome.
Or Super Brawl, we got the prom curtain.
Yup.
Oh, dude, I was
and the fart fireworks.
Of course, with the little shitty fart dragon.
I was watching some WCW Worldwide, as you guys know a little bit yesterday.
As one should.
And like, shows I love that the like set of like where the ring is looks like it could spin.
Yeah, well, it did. It was on like a rotating platter.
Yeah, it's like a Lazy Susan ring.
We need to bring back parts of the ring that are dangerous and can injure people. Like when did that happen to British Bulldog? He took a back body drop and then he was like he landed on a metal grate. And it doesn't fucking matter. We're talking about Dude Love versus Steve Austin. Fuck WCW.
Anyway,
it's on to everybody.
So they do a bunch of stuff. They get back in the ring. Pat Patterson.
I like WCW more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do too. Pat Patterson trips him. And then that's kind of like Dude's opening to like start beating the crap out of him. He pulls the pad off the top turnbuckle, and Austin already busted open, but he's still like just ramming his head into it. Yeah, all-timer bleeder. And
I think it's because he has so many veins in there when he's angry.
Like
just gets angry and they pop out.
He goes to like ram.
Being bald is a cheat code for
bleeding.
Being a good bleeder. It's like Killer Khan.
It don't get caught. It doesn't get caught in your hair.
Yeah, he is an unbelievably great bleeder, and he knows how to milk it. It doesn't hurt that Mick is doing the knuckle to the cut deal when they get back in the ring.
Mick is such a nasty puncher. He's very underrated.
Underrated in that regard for certain.
Mm-hmm.
Mick is just an all-time wrestler. Well, that's really what we got.
He's vicious, and he's a big guy. I feel like he looks very unassuming because he's always next to these to the guys who are peak Attitude Era steroids. But he's a big motherfucker. He'd probably fuck you up.
Yeah. The finish here is overboard at best, I think. Not that it's not good.
The perfect way. I think it's the perfect.
Yeah,
no, it all comes together and it pays off really well. They very rarely did they nail this, but that's kind of why I say this is the peak of the Attitude Era. This is like when it all works together perfectly. Because me and Don were talking about this too. Like, there's all this bullshit surrounding it, but in between all that stuff, which they do pay off well, is just a great match.
Yeah.
And you said they don't do a lot, but it's because everything they do has a purpose.
It's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite spot is definitely not even one of the big ones. This one, Austin, just starts running and clotheslines the shit out of him. That is so cool. Runs like a bull.
I love the deal with the when they get back in the ring. There's all kinds of crazy shit on the floor that Austin takes, like a backdrop on the floor, and he takes a snap suplex on the floor.
Yeah.
Foley does the nasty plunge off the car and misses it. But when they get back in the ring and Foley is just punching the shit out of us, and Ross has a great call here too. He says there's a mean streak to that human being. And then they do all the stuff with the turnbuckle pad. That's my favorite stuff. He takes the turnbuckle pad off, and then he smokes the piss out of him with a knee.
Yeah. And I love too, like, when Austin goes to like throw Mick into it, and like Mick basically like stops himself and like immediately halts Austin's momentum and just like rams his head into it.
Yeah,
and it's great. And then but they also do like the Austin comeback punches that the crowd goes nuts. They're so good. And then Mick immediately cuts him off. Right back into the turnbuckle.
There's like so many working parts in this match that come together to make it so fun. Like Jim Ross, as I'm saying, there's a part where What did Mick call his double arm DDT at this point?
It was just a double arm DDT.
Okay, he does that.
There may have been a cutesy dude love name for it.
Gotcha,
but
just double arm DDT.
Yeah,
because he does that. It's a really good near fall because Jim Ross goes up and that's it. 1, 2.
Well,
oh my God, that's not it.
That's his finisher. He nails him on the chair, and the crowd is like silent. Well, when he hits the DDT, the crowd goes silent because
they're like, oh shit.
And not in a 2025 way. It's like a hushed silence.
Like oh my God.
Yeah, it's like
he's about to take it off of him.
Like Jim Ross shows that moment so perfectly. He's not over. The rattlesnake has come to fight.
So this is where we get the very, I guess, famous spot of Austin taking the chair and hitting it off the ropes and whacking his own self in the face.
Yes, that's so funny.
And then
I think it's cool. He's just fucking geeked up. I'm fucking gonna kill
you. Well, he's beat to shit, and his selling during all this is so good because before that that's after he charges with the chair and lifts the leg, right? And then he gets the chair and he's like stumbling. It's beautiful the way he's selling the damage and stuff. Like the idea that Austin was like not a great worker at his peak is
and insane. This is the point too where then he loads up and he swings this chair at Mick. And Mick
I swear his eyes roll back in his head. That is so hard.
Dude,
he swung that
eats
shit.
All of it. And then he goes down to pin Mick, and Vince doesn't count. He just stands there. And so Austin gets up, he starts jaw-jacking. Foley kind of stirs, grabs the chair, and as he goes to swing it at Austin drops and he kills Vince with it.
Full on flush to the face.
Vince always took the worst chair bumps to the fucking face. They always killed him. It's great.
Dude, it is insane. Like, and it's such a perfectly timed drop.
Oh, it's
Austin.
Beautiful. You can see him sort of just peek over his shoulder.
Yeah.
His eyes move. But the timing is unreal.
But I think it works, right? Because if in
he hears him coming.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's like when you're looking at the ref on a kick out. It's just perfectly timed and executed.
And so Vince is dead. We wish. And so he hits Vince, Stone Cold gets the stunner, goes for a pin, and he's got the pin in, and here comes old Mike Chioda fucking running down to the ring.
Mike Choder
slides in, and as soon as he starts to count, here comes Patterson, and he yanks him out. Pat starts just wailing on him, which, I mean, kind of some good punches. He throws
again, he's in hell now, but Pat Patterson was a great wrestler.
Yeah, he had a good punch here. Then Foley gets the mandible claw, and then Patterson gets in and starts to count the pin. And as he's counting the pin, Undertaker comes over, goozles him, picks him up, and just choke slams the hell out of him into
this old ass man.
Dude, it's scary almost.
Dude,
yeah.
I kind of love it too, because I feel like we're so conditioned to seeing them rip all the stuff off of the announce tables.
But in a video game, they pull the monitors out.
He does not here. For either, so they do the same. No. They do the same spot twice, effectively. Where, so he choke slams Patterson through the table, and then Briscoe tries to get in and do it, and then Briscoe gets pulled out and choke slammed. And
two tables.
Yeah, because we have an English and Spanish announce table. At this point, literally, the crowd is there's not a person in this building that is not on their feet.
It's a frenzy.
And so Austin kicks him in the dick, stunner, pins him, but Vince is out, so he pulls Vince over. And
there's a big laugh there, too. I don't know if you caught that. There's like a huge laugh from the crowd when he pulls him over. That was beautiful to see.
And so he fucking pulls him over and just counts the pin himself with Vince's hand. 1, 2, 3. Bell
Huge
rings.
Pop. One of the all-time pops.
Dude, so like such a fantastic, like you said, they didn't get this like overbooked finish thing right often.
I love how he celebrates. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck. It's great.
And he goes and gives it to every corner too. It's so good.
Yeah, but like, and then you get like a little like stare down between Taker and Austin to kind of set up like a Taker wants the belt even though he helped you here, right? Which like is kind,
it's it's grudging respect.
Very very neat. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Genuinely, like,
I love this match.
Like you said, Dom. Yeah, like I also love this match. I think I don't, you know, I don't have like a all time matches list. Oh, this is the greatest things I've ever seen. Blah blah blah. But this is definitely like up there for me, right? Like this is one of those matches that like I don't think probably gets talked about enough.
Yeah.
Compared to like
wrestling doesn't get much better than this in general. But every piece of it.
But like
every
compared to like I guess some of the more famous Attitude Era matches, I feel like this isn't as well maybe publicized.
Yeah, I don't think people talking about Austin matches are going to start with the Brett Mania match,
and
then they'll probably bring up the other Austin Brett match,
maybe Rock,
or
the Austin Rock match,
or just like any like maybe some of the Royal Rumbles, stuff like that. Like, and then on the flip side you have Mick, where it's like, I feel like,
Oh yeah, this is definitely underrated in his
because like
catalog.
Which,
but when you get a good match out of Triple H, I mean, of course that's gonna be.
And also understandably so, whenever like,
I feel like Mick's whole catalog is just hidden gems, huh?
Well, like when
there's a lot there.
When you have matches like you getting launched off the top of Hell in the Cell, I can understand why that moment will maybe oversell or overshadow a match like this. But also at the same time, this is so fucking cool. So it's like you kind of.
He definitely. I mean, he takes his share of gnarly shit. Like I said, that clothesline off the guardrail is up there with the most dangerous bumps.
The clothesline, the chair shots, the just like stupid stuff like doing like the sunset flip off the car.
Yeah.
Like
the nesty plunge off the car.
Like those are Mick Foley bumps. Mick Foley is the only guy taking those bumps.
But even outside of that, it's just a perfectly paced and worked match. Like they have the crowd in the palm of their hands.
Now,
for the duration.
I made the mistake of watching this match first. So after watching it, I was a little blown up. And like I had to take like a 20-minute or so like break where I basically just like sat on my phone and just like
it's a little bit to take in.
Yeah, just disassociated for like 20-30 minutes just sitting on TikTok because I was like, I need to like
it's a lot.
Yeah, I just witnessed so much. But then like going in like then watching my match, the Hayato and Takeda match afterwards was like a good.
It's a nice little palate cleanser.
Yeah, it's a good good feeling, like good way to get back in the swing, because it's like you go from this like very overbooked to the extremes match to two dudes just kicking the crap out of each other.
And before I forget, their match the month before this is not as good as this, but it's also definitely watching. They had really good chemistry.
Yeah, they worked in WCW, didn't they?
Almost certainly.
I'm pretty sure they did. Now I'm gonna cross reference real quick with the old cage matcher. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they're some of the chemistry like moments here. Like, at no point in this match do you feel like, one guy doesn't know what he's doing. I guess if that makes sense. Like these are pros. Oh, this is where I'm gonna hate cage match because I'm gotta figure out what gimmick Mick was working. Like
Cactus Jack.
Yeah, it's most certainly Cactus, but like.
Yeah, it's Cactus. I see a 6-man. I don't see much else.
I like the name Cactus Jack. It's so cool.
Cactus
Great
Jack.
name, great gimmick.
Yeah, great, just real fun. I love his ECW promos. I feel like maybe.
Yeah, that's him.
I feel like
I had that Three Faces of Foley VHS was a classic back in the day.
That's yeah, that sounds about right.
Watched it a ton.
So he worked a tag match. So Cactus and Austin worked a tag match against Junkyard Dog and Ron Simmons at a house show.
Oh, I have that downloaded on my. Oh no, that's a house show. I swear I have some Jack Simmons tag matches downloaded to watch later.
They have 2 matches, one on Worldwide and one on Power Hour. Actually, this might be the same match because it has the same match time. But it's them versus Wyndham and Steamboat. And then Saturday night match, they work with it's Cactus, Greg, Valentine, and Austin versus Wyndham, Dustin Rhodes, and Johnny B. Bad.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. That's the one with the rating.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's probably pretty.
I want to watch more.
I'm sure it's a good TV match. You never trust the cage match ratings on TV matches.
I mean, I'm never.
Because they're always just like, I wish this went longer. Nope, this
is yeah, dumb bitch. It went exactly as long as it should have.
Yeah, literally, a throwaway 6-man tag team match on television between 2 rather unusual team ups.
I bet it's fun.
Yeah.
Anywho, speaking of cage match.
Yeah. Real quick, Dom, I assume you had no monkey points.
Nope.
Yeah, speaking of cage match, time to go to the cage match game. It is Dom's pick this week. The scores is as follows. Dom 1, Obby 1, me 0.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that was you last week.
Yeah, because I'm so mad I missed it. I definitely could have gotten it.
Yeah.
I'm just stupid.
So
who was it last week? I already forgot.
It was Jay Briscoe. I'd also forgot until I was sitting here talking about you being mad, and I remembered why you were mad.
I literally almost didn't remember.
Yeah. That reminds me. I still got to go back from last week and watch the damn Mark Briscoe match because I only caught the end of it.
Oh, the Ricochet match?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, the stretcher match. That's
so good.
That's another thing I want to talk about at some point. I want to, because I've been talking about doing this like match of the year episode. And I thought about maybe doing like a halfway point, like I'm
with it.
Like the end of this month, do like, each bring like our favorite match of the year contender from the first 6 months of the year. So that way we're not trying to pack it all in at the end.
That sounds very fun.
But anyway, sorry, we're just live booking on the pod here. Brady's brainchild's going. But yeah, so Dom's pick this week. Dom, what is the overall rating of your wrestler on Cage Match?
6.28.
Ooh.
6.28. I am going to say Silver King.
That is not Silver King. Good guess though.
I'm trying to think of wrestlers that Dom would pick. that would be at a 6.28, and that we would know. That's always a real challenge of this game here. Is finding wrestlers who we know. Fuck. So, you said Silver King. 628. I can't get Johnny B. Bad out of my head, so we're just gonna go Johnny B. Bad.
It is not Johnny B. Bad, but that's also a good guess.
Go ahead and give us the first review, Dom.
Blank. I mean, 8. What the fuck am I talking about? This is an 8 rating. Where to start with this guy? He consistently got good matches out of not so good wrestlers. He could get a 4-star match with me. He made the most out of bad gimmicks and storylines. His catchphrase, blank, is one of the most catchy ever. His wrestling was exceptional. Even now, you could watch a blank match and think, I've never seen that before, or hey, that's insert modern wrestler finish. His influence on wrestling in terms of in-ring work can't be underestimated. I wish Blank knew how much he meant to so many. Word salad, I'm fucking high.
Innovative.
I
wish he knew how much he meant. So. But he has a 6.28.
Fuck. Yeah, that's the
Canyon.
You're right, it's Canyon.
Oh my god! Oh! Holy! Avi with the 3 points, which will give him a nice decisive lead of 4 points over Dom's 1 and my 0. I'm glad you said it because I was not thinking it. My brain was thinking Jerry Lynn.
That's
Jerry Lynn's a good guess, yeah. Mm-hmm. I bet his rating is higher though.
That's what was fucking me up because I was like, there's no way Jerry Lynn's at a 6. I could maybe see a world where he's like high 7s, but not that low. Oh, man, Cactus.
Well, I was thinking innovative catchphrase, and then the ending implies something sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So, damn, I've almost brought him a bunch of times. I love Canyon, man. I love Mortis.
Yeah, I was thinking if you didn't get it there, you were gonna get the next one because it involves his best year was probably post Blank unmasking and up to Blank era, which is the Jersey Triad era.
Yeah,
you probably would have got that.
Yeah, I'm glad you got there because he
Mortis might be one of the best C-show guys ever. He's
dude.
So fun.
If I see Mortis and Wrath against like anybody interested,
that's got to be a watch.
Yeah.
That's real. All right, so
he has a match against Booker T where he gets basically power bombed on his neck stem. It's very cool.
Avi, good job. That was a quick cage match game seg there, boys.
Quicken.
When was the last time somebody got it on the first review? It was Dom.
I don't really.
Yeah, it was you, but this was maybe like second week of the cage match game like ever or something like that.
Like, oh wow!
Was it the Rhino one?
Maybe it was very early. I remember that. That's another thing, by the way, we really need to do is go back and write down all the wrestlers we have picked for the cage match game.
Yeah, bro, because I was gonna pick Bam Bam, but did we do Bam Bam already?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then.
Damn, I should have even known more Jersey guy.
Yeah,
I would have been more confident in that.
He's not even Jersey. He's born in New York. I don't know why he was in the Jersey Triad. Yeah, it says born in New York.
Poser.
That's what I'm thinking.
Faking the funk. Tony Khan
He's faking that Jersey fart funk.
Yeah, it says birthplace, New York City, New York. Well, that doesn't mean he can't be a Jersey kid. That just might mean he was born in
New York
city.
Hospital.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He was born in New York City Hospital, and they put his ass on the train. Put that baby on the train.
They say get the hell out.
Get back across the river, bitch.
Dude of the week this week is Dude Love because he's dude.
That's the dude.
Yeah.
Got to.
There's not many.
Dude Love, baby.
There's not many good dudes out there. Like it's probably what Dude Love and the dude from Big Lebowski. Is that like? I mean, it's not a long list.
Yeah, there's not many dude. What I'm thinking of the dude. Who is the dude?
That's the Big Lebowski. That's what
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right. The dude abides.
I was about to make a reference that y'all would have no concept of, so I won't.
Don't say that. I might have some frame of reference.
There was an old Nickelodeon show called Hey Dude. Hey Dude.
Oh yeah, the only Hey I know is Hey Arnold.
Oh, I'm thinking of Postal Dude.
Postal?
From the video game Postal.
Now I have to Google this.
Well, you know Postal too, where he goes, I need you to sign my petition. I really want you to sign my petition. That's Postal too.
So I've never played that game.
And it's Gary Numan.
Like Gary Numan? Cars?
No, who's this?
Are you talking about Paul Newman?
It's Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman. I'm thinking about Gary Coleman.
Gary Numan is like a new wave singer.
Oh, you said Cars, and so I was thinking
he has a song called Cars.
I was thinking
that's
Paul Newman,
even older than Hey Dude,
because Paul Newman is in Cars the movie.
Yeah, he is in Cars, the judge.
Yeah, he plays Doc.
Oh man,
Gary Coleman and Postal too.
Hope you guys are enjoying the pod.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gary Numan, Gary Coleman, Paul Newman.
we were kind of bullshitting before the pod, and I made a joke to Avi. I was like, "Do you ever get tired of having two Gen Z co-hosts who very much have ADHD and wait until the last possible minute to watch all the stuff for the podcast?" and he was just like, "I'm used to it." He was like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're a couple weeks in now. He's used to how it goes.
Hey, this is.
Well, I told them my wife is like the most ADHD person who ever. She's so ADHD that she like got a nurse practitioner master's degree to like learn more about ADHD, and she treats it now.
That's awesome.
Does she treat herself?
Well, she has her own therapist, but I mean, I think she applies a lot of her knowledge to herself. Yeah.
Hey,
she's so goated. Shout out my wife.
That's the real dream. I do find it funny that because Dom posted that in the Discord, that like someone.
Oh my god! It's not even the VC.
No, someone's just gonna see Gary Coleman next to the Postal 2 girls and like have no idea.
Dude, they're just gonna no-sell it because everybody's used to it.
But yeah, no one's gonna have the context until tomorrow morning when everyone listens to the podcast. And they're gonna scroll back up and be like, "What? Oh, yeah."
You guys know Gary. What you talking about, Willis?
I know who Gary Coleman is, but I didn't know who Gary Numan was.
If you look at Postal 2, one of the first images is the feature of using a cat's butthole as a silencer.
Holy fuck.
I mean, I'm surprised this is new to you, Brady. This was old.
Listen, my parents were very restrictive on the video games I got to play as a young child.
That's fair. I definitely had unrestricted computer access for you too young.
So like literally like my parents didn't let me play anything that was teen rated until I was a teen, except for literally like wrestling games. And I had to do some work to convince them to let me play wrestling games. And I'm like, Mom, you let me watch SmackDown every week, but you won't buy me a video game because it's rated T? Like...
Yeah, people are blading on SmackDown every pay-per-view. Come on.
Oh, I wasn't watching the pay-per-views, but like
Not fair.
they were doing bra and panties stuff on SmackDown back then, brother. Like it was the Wild Wild West. Like anyway,
that's a good movie. Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
Jim West, Desperado.
Yep, Wild Wild West.
Jesus Christ. Everybody's
Wild West.
Everybody's brains is just scattered. in the yeah, it's all mush up there. Anyway, we watched 3 really fun, really random fucking matches this week. There's 2 of which that are like, I don't even know how to describe them, and one of them I brought, and the other one is an all-timer. So, I don't know. Next week, I mean, I guess, I don't know, are we like legit gonna do this damn Domism thing?
You don't. I mean, if you'd want to, I don't want to force anyone.
I kind of want to. I'm not gonna lie to you because it sounds very funny. I don't know, like.
Yeah, no, that sounds like it will. Speaking of ADHD, that sounds like it will be a pleasant.
Yes, a very pleasant day
to find.
Yeah, for
Dom coded stuff and think about. Yeah,
I feel like we have to commit to the bit though. Then is like we need to do it for each, like all 3 of us.
I'm always bringing something that's Domism, of course.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. I'm like if we do one, like we do next week, we do Dom, then like eventually.
Oh, and then we gotta do you.
Yeah, we gotta do me.
Yeah,
we gotta do
100%.
Yeah,
that sounds like a lot of fun, to be honest.
Yeah,
that does sound like hella fun.
So we have literally a little inside baseball. We have a pinned message in our group chat with a bunch of different themes, and we're, instead of doing that, we're just coming up with ones on the fly.
Want to do a theme about this? Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Oh no, actually, you know what? Never mind. I say that, but one of the things, literally the last thing in this list, it says U-Core. And so you know what?
Hey, I already
I was gonna say I'm counting this as a U-Core basically. So next week that's what we'll do. We will all three bring matches that we think are Dom coded. Whether that just be animal based, probably all animal based in some regard, but like stiff.
That or just stiff, beat the shit out of each other, weird guys.
Suplexing.
Yep.
Random. Maybe not even random wrestlers, but just like random teams.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, I'm excited.
Yeah. Now
I'm already thinking what I'm bringing. I already might have a good idea.
I know. Because we were talking about like, does the Road Warriors count? Now I'm like, oh man, do I want to bring a Road Warriors match?
Fucking course the Road Warriors count. Are they doing suplexes and stuff? Yeah.
But then it's like at the same time, I'm like, I don't see. That's another thing. Is like, what do I consider like the line between you and Obby, right? Because Fire and Ice is both a you and Obby thing in my head.
Yeah, well, there's going to be some. That's like what we're talking about.
There's going to be overlap, I think.
Yeah, there's overlap there.
Yeah, so it's like, I think
I usually give anything to Obby that has like good punching or a sense of like southern stooging almost. I
am in general though now thinking of this idea, very excited to figure out what you two would think is coded to me.
PWG. I'd probably bring a PWG match that I like.
Which, yeah, like I feel like it's like that, or like ROH. It's like that 2000s Indiism. Yeah, that's, man. I could sit here and talk for another 10 minutes about that St. Louis Anarchy show I went to. I do need you guys to know 100% though before, like, yeah, I won't ramble, but Anakin Murphy will 100% have deathmatch scars for the rest of his life.
Oh, that sounds pretty dope.
Dude, his back, like, when was that match against Danny? Like, what, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, a few weeks
pretty
ago.
Recently.
3 or 4 weeks ago.
His back is still rough looking.
Well, he almost fucking died. I mean, he was a fucking blonde hair away.
But, like, his back...
From brain damage.
His back still, like, in, like,
probably just reopened all the scars, yeah.
Yeah, it looks. No, this was before Boy even took a bump.
Oh.
It was looking bad. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, big dog. Like he's gonna be fucked up for the rest of his life because of that match.
Anker Murphy don't got fucking life insurance. They probably didn't even go to the hospital after the Danny DeManto match. He probably just got sepsis now.
Tax return wrestling.
Tax return wrestling. Dude, we should bring something from that show.
Let's not do that.
I didn't even know
up the X.
X.
Yeah, that's never something we've never had. Is one of us try to veto?
We're bringing Lou Jean versus Freight Train. Listen to me, Lou Jean. Now you listen to me, Lou Jean. That's the best promo ever.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
It's off the rails. Yeah.
So next week we will bring 3 matches that we all feel is the most Dom-ism thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I don't know if we'll keep.
Shout out to Cephos. I stole that shit right from him.
That match?
No, just the term of isms. Well, he didn't invent isms. What the fuck am I talking about? He didn't. I invented it.
He is cool, and he just wrote a cool write-up on early DDT.
Ooh, I'm gonna read that. Never mind. I love you, Cephos. Thank you. I hope your training's going well.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. So, shouts out, Dude Love for Dude of the Week. If you enjoyed listening to us ramble about these 3 matches and want to
email us, please.
Yeah, email us. Email us what you think. This is a little test. What do you think is maybe send in some Dom coded matches to the email. How about that? We could do.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like, if
dude, we got an email.
We do.
If anyone's still listening, yeah.
Holy shit, we got an email. All right, no, let's.
Yeah, I just checked.
Who emailed?
I haven't even read this. Oh god.
You got an email? Oh
we
shit.
Did.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter.
oldtincds@gmail.com. Hi, File Under Fire dudes. Just finished listening to all of your episodes over the last few days, and since you guys put out the call for emails at the end of your last episode, I thought I would write in. First, I just wanted to disagree with something Dom said. I believe in either episode 7 or 8. I don't think that Wolverine's foreskin would grow back if he had been circumcised.
This has to be.
I don't believe there is. I don't believe there is any evidence of Wolverine's healing factor healing any old scars that occurred before his mutant gene manifested, and thus I do not think that the foreskin would grow back if he had been circumcised as a baby. I do also think this disagreement is moot because Wolverine probably wasn't ever circumcised. He was born in the 19th century in the Canadian frontier. I doubt there was a lot of foreskin snipping happening.
Yeah, you know what?
Second, what is the best pro wrestling strike besides punch? Is it kick? Throat thrust? Does a lariat count? Anyway, thanks so much for the podcast, you guys. It's been nice listening to it, and I can't wait to listen more. Sincerely, and he signed it, Connor.
Oh, holy fucking shit.
Well, we'll never get any more emails. Nothing will ever top that.
That is the funniest shit ever.
Best pro wrestling strike that is not a punch. I'm going to go with overhand lucha chop.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I agree with that, unless, and this is a very specific instance. It has to I enjoy kicks if it is a skilled person doing the kicks.
Oh, I agree. That's fair.
So
100%.
Yeah.
Hayato in this match or Miyu Mashita is a good example.
It's tied for that. If it's a great kick, it's as good as that shit.
Hold on real quick? Do we count lariats?
That's what
he just said. Does lariats count?
Does lariat count?
Right.
I think that counts.
So
I think lariat. Then I guess right.
So in that same vein, do drop kicks count?
Oh. Oh wow, you're right.
Right, because it is a strike.
Yeah.
But it is a more evolved version of a strike. And honestly, drop kicks really are like the basis of 90% of modern pro wrestling. Like if the drop kick never happens, like wrestling may not evolve in the way it does. I don't think there's a way that wrestling happens without a drop kick being created.
If you can't throw a good drop kick, get out of the fucking business right now.
And there's drop kick.
I do love a nice drop kick, though.
A drop kick too can be done in multiple different ways. You know, you can have.
I think the best variant is full balls to the wall, John Woo style.
Well, so you have guys like I'll use Paul London as an example, who does like
Paul London
does it like straight, but then you have guys like Abe who kind of do it where it's like more of a flip, like to the side, you know. Yeah, like maybe I changed my answer. I think it's drop kick.
I think I'm still gonna go with lucha chop.
That's okay. I mean, I'm not trying to like change your mind. I
know, but I'm just still thinking.
I wanted your guys' opinion on my own thoughts, so then I could kind of process if I thought it was better.
Well, honestly, if you can't punch, if you can also just slap in the face with a nice fucking haymaker slap, I always like that.
I can't believe the whole first point of the whole thing about Wolverine's.
I literally forgot we talked about that for maybe all of 5 minutes.
Dude, that's why I just assumed this was an Ethan email. Like Ethan just went and made like a
I thought you said this was from Volcon.
That's the
email address is Volcon CDS, and the guy's name is Connor. I'm not going to give his government name because his full first and last name are on here.
Do you know who this is?
I do not.
Wow, so this is just a real.
This is a real.
Is this a real viewer? That's awesome.
The only I did recommend Charade EX, who's been in Moonsault. I did recommend him the pod. I don't know if this is him.
The specific Wolverine foreskin episode. I literally don't even remember that episode. What episode was that?
That was
like I remember talking
that was
about
when
it.
Ethan.
That was when Ethan was on.
No, yeah. Ethan wasn't on. This was like the week after Ethan was on, I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because like he realized that like he could still see the like voice chat, and he like sent the message into the voice chat. So was this? Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what the week this was. I think this might have been the week when we brought the week I brought Taz versus Tajiri. And then we had the Valentine.
He says it's either episode 7 or 8.
I'd have to go back into the archive. I'm looking at the
anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sheet.
Thank you for the email.
I love that email. That was great.
And thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening to literally all the episodes, like you said. And also, this is why, if you're out there, even if, listen, I'm going to say this, even if you're one of our friends and you're like, we actively talk to you on a daily basis, this is why you should send in emails. Because this is way more entertaining than any conversation we could have in any text chat or voice chat.
That was so hilarious. So
I hope people listen past the Gary Numan, Paul Newman, Gary Coleman to hear the email.
Oh my god, I hope.
Dude, I can't believe we actually got a fucking email.
Yeah, I'm so surprised. I'm very surprised.
I figured we were just gonna keep saying it, and then eventually it would just be like Poochie or somebody just like send an email that just was like hi or some like stupid bullshit, you know, like just some like nothingness email that like it doesn't really serve us a point to read. No,
also, this has been the longest pod so far, huh?
No. We should wrap this up.
No, we've had ones that have gone over 2 hours. We're not even at the 2 hour mark yet.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, we'll still wrap it up here. Send us an email, fileunderfirepod@gmail.com. Follow us on all of our socials, whether that's mine, Aubie's, Dom's, or the main,
or just the File Under Fire.
I saw, Aubie tweeted out today that, he was adding the adding the matches to the playlist, kind of giving the fans a heads up. Which I turned post notifications on my main account for the File Under Fire account, so I know when Aubie posts on there. So yeah, just like we're saying, just go follow all of our accounts. You'll see me post edits and talk about random stuff. You'll see Aubie post clips of some of the coolest wrestling you'll ever see, mainly just La Parka, which it's been real weird here recently.
He's always cool.
Right now, La Parka, yeah.
Which it's been kind of weird here recently because his clips have been kind of breaking his normal stratosphere. Which it's gonna happen. That's the internet. But go check out the Butt Farter, and just look at all the stuff that's on there.
Butt Farter.
Yeah, Butt Farter.
My God, that's vulgar.
And if
thanks for listening.
Yeah, if you are new to the podcast and haven't listened to every single episode like Connor just did, do that.
I was using the boss call. He's saying end this right now.
if you haven't listened to every episode, go listen to every episode. If you have listened to every episode and you haven't watched the matches from this episode, go watch those immediately because they're fucking fantastic. Other than that, go read Yard Subject to Change. Go.
Yep.
Yes.
Like I said, follow us
read
everywhere.
Cheap Hop Reviews. Go read Lawson,
yes, yeah.
Our friend Lawson stuff on NXT and all of his write-ups.
He just did a fantastic USWA article.
Yep.
I hope he continues.
Go,
Lovely.
like, comment, subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this on. And we will be back next week with 3 Dom-coded matches. And I'm excited for what all 3 of us think of when we think of something that is Dom-coded.
All right. Keep it between the ditches.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.